14 riddles, only the smartest one. Smartest سەتا پێنج کان کڕاک. بارێ بابزانین ئەمە دەتانی حەلیان کەین.
Oliver was attacked in his flat and taken to the hospital. There are 4 suspects, all of them Oliver's neighbors. Wow, I'd find another apartment. Amelia said she'd been walking in the park since early morning. Apartment. Amelia said she'd been walking in the park since early morning. Henry explained he had been painting in his studio and had heard nothing. Jacob said he had been repairing his car. Sophia answered she'd been taking a bath for the past 3 hours. Look at these people's hands and try to figure out who's lying.
ها؟ خوي أمن خم لبلاديو زوزو زيركم. بس أو مطير خوارت يزد غورانيا أو لو حي هبو أو لو حي هبو بس دواني دستاني على بربي أوش 6 ساعات لحمام كس 6 ساعات لحمام بيه أوش شي سارة كدو سياري سارة كدو ودوانا هردوشان دستان خوي عادة بسياري كم بس لبوي شد إحمايك شانية كوسر بزاني بسياري كم مالك بسياري كم يزني نظام درم أو كابرا رسامك.
It's a bit strange that Jacob, who was repairing his car, and Henry, who was painting, both have such clean hands. But they could be wearing gloves. On the other hand, Sophia's hands and fingers don't have wrinkles. But it would be a natural skin reaction after 3 hours in a bathtub.
Uh-oh.
Sophia, you've been caught red. I mean, smooth-handed. The police found out there was a new smuggler in town. 3 people were under suspicion. Luna, a school bus driver, Jackson, a fire truck driver, and Daniel, an ambulance driver. All of them claim to have been busy with their work since the very morning. Can you figure out who's the smuggler?
تزوانم چی هەیە ئەندرویدەکە ساق پاسەکە چکوێ گۆجبێ هەیە و دێتەوە لۆ قەرە بارغبی تزوان.
Look at the car Daniel drives. On such vehicles, the word ambulance is normally written backward. It's done so that other drivers can instantly read the inverted word in their rearview mirrors.
براسي ويا ambulance car هم ولا بعكسه نشرا وزاد بير إن مزاني بو معنى أوين يزيد أكتر بس.
It seems Daniel has given himself away. It was the day when Jacob was supposed to be discharged from the hospital. He had spent a couple of months there and underwent several surgeries. His doctor told him he was going to be fine. It was safe for Jacob to leave the hospital. But the guy didn't believe these promises. In low spirits, he walked home. On the way, he accidentally bumps into an elderly lady. She gets furious and started to shout at Jacob. But instead of arguing back, he hugged the woman and ran home. Why?
بسيارك سقطيان أملخهم لهم ما زيد أكثر من لهم ما زيد أكثر من لهم ما زيد أكثر لو ليدا دكتور سامانغ لمستشفى والدكتور بيقول عملياتي لبوكر قلت باج بيس حتى طانه بخولوج نيدالو تسنة طاني جي لاني لاني جي كاربو بي لا.
Jacob had hearing loss. He didn't believe his problem could be helped. But when he heard the woman shouting at him, he realized the doctor had told him the truth. Maybe the doctor should have shouted.
ت ت ت دكتور بيقول لأول يوم قوتي برو عيبني يعني ديارة جيليا يرور أدرو إيه.
Chloe stayed late at the office that day. When she was driving home, the woman was worn out. At one moment, she even started to doze off. That's when it happened. She spun off the road and crashed through the fence that was on her way. She couldn't control the car anymore. It slipped down a steep hill and ended up in a lake. Chloe couldn't move her arms. They were stuck. She couldn't undo her seatbelt or open the door. The car sank to the bottom of the lake. Was Chloe doomed? Rescuers arrived 3 hours later. The woman was still in the car, but she was alive. How did she survive?
كو لو أنا سيارة تسلا بكاربيني تسلا بقوة سيارة شيء أهلنا ناس تنا سيارة كي ضدي
After the car hit the bottom of the lake, the water only came.
دروم دا قدكا إني قلت أستبن قلت أستبن نك معلوماتك بس قتيلة دا كابرا كده كم زاد دكتورة بيجو تسحت باشا نيزن جي طاوت شتوا استاش درين
Came up to Chloe's throat. It was a very shallow lake. Good thing, huh? It was Jack's birthday, and the fellow got a present he had been dreaming about for ages, a motorbike. The next morning, he rode his bike to college and left it at the parking lot. During lunchtime, Jack decided to check on his motorbike. Imagine his horror when he found out someone had broken the mirrors. The security guard told Jack only 3 other people had left his building in the afternoon. They were Owen and Sam, 2 best friends, and Layla, the girl who once liked Jack but got turned down by him. Owen said he and Sam had gone to the campus cafe to get sandwiches for lunch. Sam confirmed this. He then added the bike could have been damaged by Layla out of revenge. But Layla told Jack her mother had visited her and they had spent 2 hours together. So, who's lying?
يان معلوماتك نادته يان دري كاليرا هيز نانشرا فود ديليفري نا ختاكسكي نا كسي حاسودي فيها ليه توربولو نا هيتس تسوانو عليها نا فود ديليفري نيا تسوين زيجي نا ختاكسكي
Owen has a paper bag with food delivery written on it. It means the guys ordered their lunch, not bought it in the cafe. They broke Jack's mirrors and tried to frame Layla. Not a good reflection on them, huh? Detective Taylor was chasing a dangerous criminal. Suddenly, the man entered a hospital. Oh no, there are hundreds of rooms there. Luckily, it was raining, and the criminal left footprints on the hospital floor. The detective followed them and got into a small room. There were 3 people there, all covered in bandages from head to toe. But one of them was a fake patient. Who?
Alex Adania بهرم خرتين نبرين او نية استشارتي وهو رقيلة بيجنية بس او خينينية او درزي بس حمتي داد اندري لاني بيتاني ناوكاني بقوربا فدرم اوه Alex Vero.
It was the dude in the middle. He didn't even have a medical chart next to his bed. Very quick job on the bandages, though. The CEO of a large company called the police. He was sure that one of his employees, Victoria, had stolen a memory card with secret information. She was going to sell it to their competitors. The police arrived at Victoria's house, but the woman didn't let them in without a warrant. The officers had to leave to get all the necessary papers. By the time they were back, Victoria had already been sitting in her car, ready to drive off. The police officers arrested the woman. They searched her car and clothes, but found nothing. And then, when they were about to give up, one of the detectives realized where Victoria kept the memory card. Can you figure it out?
ترى كود يعني خوديار اللي بتشارتيو بس ترى كود لا أنا ناقون دريبي لزيج كبي بس ترى كود كراز كود آخر.
When the police first came to her, the woman had her hair down. But
سبحان
after that, Victoria changed her hairstyle. The memory card is in her bun. Yep, Victoria and her sticky bun. Michael was going home from the gym when everything went black. When he regained consciousness, he found out he was in a locked room. Next to the door, there was a computer with a keyboard. On the screen, there was a riddle. Michael had to write the correct answer and the door would open. The riddle went like this. It makes two people out of one. What is it? Michael typed the needed word and the door opened.
It make two people out of one. كان غير اوكي خوي نازج دم طاني بنفنج حامل بس لو مش كنت سوكن كان غيري نه كان غيره ستاصد كان غيره.
What was the answer?
أنا كان غيره اشتكي بعض.
It's a mirror. Oh, I was guessing a buzzsaw, but this one is better and not as messy. Two best friends, Emily and Luna, came to a popular and expensive hair salon. At first, the administrator told the girls they had just one available hairstylist. But after making a phone call, she happily announced she had found another hairdresser. Emily and Luna could have their hair done at the same time. But in the process, it dawned on the girls that one of the hairstylists was fake. Which one?
حيواناتي حشراتي بس والله شاذة حلاقة حشراتي بتسرق.
Both hairstylists are using regular scissors, but instead of hairspray, the one on the left is holding a can of bug spray. Yeah, that's a big clue right there. A man on a bike grabbed Sarah's bag with all her documents, money, and smartphone and sped off. The only way the girl can get her bag back is by taking someone's car and driving after the criminal. There are 3 vehicles parked nearby. Which one can Sarah break into and drive off? Borrow.
جاني هر ما خلتيني بريم يقلو دوي سكو او بشري تدا اديو كاميري لسروش كاميري لسرا بس لو بتزي بويد لو داوا دكا انه فيكو بدي كون يار ما تدا لو سياري بتزي دبي وابي لو سياري بتزي لو داوا دكا بدي كون.
A man is sitting in the blue car. That's no good. If she decides to take the red car, CCTV will spot her. Her only option is the brown vehicle. Oh, and Sarah, don't forget to return the wheels when you get your bag back. Otherwise, you'll be Grand Theft Sarah. Mary and her younger brother Alex were mushroom hunting in the forest. Wait, mushroom hunting? What do? Sneak up on them so they don't escape? Anyway, they started a quarrel. Alex got angry and ran away. After several minutes, Mary rushed after him. She was still fuming, but also worried. Soon, the girl reached a small river. A man was sitting on the shore. Did you see a teenager here? Mary asked. Yep, he's just taken a boat and made it to the other side. But Mary didn't believe the man. Why?
Okay. Oj, parpiu dada. To złam na icja. يعني اگر بزانی و من دار
The
درچو من
boat
دار
is
مازا
indeed on the other side, but the paddles are lying next to the man.
بسیار
How could the
سقط
boy
عليه
cross the river without them? So, where's Alex? Kidnapped by the escape mushrooms? We may never know. Ella came to a party that took place in her best friend's house. It was a riddle party. All the guests had to crack mysteries and participate in different challenges. Ella's task was to get out of a locked room in the basement. The girl was blindfolded, taken downstairs, and left alone. After pulling the piece of cloth off her eyes, Ella noticed the door had a code lock. She also spotted a sheet of paper lying on the floor next to the door. There were 4 flowers drawn there. Ella looked at them for a while and entered the correct code. The door opened and the girl joined the party. So, what was the code?
1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 4 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 4 7 8 5 4 5 7 8 4 5 7 8 4 5 7 8 4 5 7 8 4
Ella counted the petals on each flower. The code was 5748. Carter was. The code was 574.
5 7 4 8
On
5
each
7
flower.
8 4
The code was 5748.
ام دا ستاپ پێنجەکەمە دیارە کابرا ئەو ڤیدیۆیەکی حەز
Carter
کرد
was
ستاپ
visiting his
پێنجەکەی
friend Mateo, who lived in another city. Mateo loved riddles. In the evening, he challenged Carter to get the key to the guest room where the guy was supposed to be sleeping. Mateo dropped the key in the bucket filled with cold water and told Carter to get it. But he couldn't touch the water or use anything to pull the key out. That night, Carter slept in the guest room. How did he get the key? But he couldn't key in the bucket.
لەچی هایشتە ناو ئاوەکی سارد
Mateo loved riddles. In the evening, Mateo's 5748.
نگەشتم
Carter was visiting his friend Mateo, who lived in another city. Mateo loved riddles. In the evening, he challenged Carter to get the key to the guest room where the guy was supposed to be sleeping. Mateo dropped the key in the bucket filled with cold water and told Carter to get it. But he couldn't touch the water or use anything to pull the key out. That night, Carter slept in the guest room. How did he get the key?
ئاوەکەی ڕوو کرد بەس دەرێ نابێ ئاوەکەی دەزاتێ لێکەچکەی داوا کرد سادە بێمانایانە چییە
He put the bucket over a fire. The water started to boil and soon evaporated. After that, Carter picked the key up. Mateo was steamed. Nora was an insurance agent. Once, her client called her early in the morning. The woman was in tears. At night, someone had broken into her house. By the time the woman had enough courage to go downstairs, the thief had already taken all the valuables. When she looked out of the window, the man was running away. Do you remember what he looked like? Nora asked. The client answered, It was still dark outside. I understood it was a man, tall and thin. He had dark hair and was wearing a V-neck t-shirt. Nora immediately realized her client had staged the burglary. How did she figure it out? Her hair and was wearing a V-neck t-shirt. Nora immediately realized her client had staged the burglary. How did she figure it out?
گوتی تاریکە فانە لانسان
It was dark, and the man was running away from the client's house. Then how could the woman see he was wearing a V-neck t-shirt? Beats me.
پرسیارەکان 180 درۆ بوو ئەو 150 درۆی لەگە کردم و نیوەشی غەرەت بوو لە خۆشم ئاهایەکە شێرا بەهڕنێس لە خۆشی بەغەرەتی گوتی و ئەوکانی کەشم هەموو زانی طبعاً دوێ دەرم زیرەکترین کەسم لەسەر گۆی زەوی داینە ئەو قسانی تێداوی ئاینشتاین چ ئەوەکان دیکە چێ ئەوەش بدیو ئەو ڕۆمانە هەتا یەکە چکا پیس